time to tune in. Reno got the stats and the info. Rockin' with Flem and be better. That's my kinfolk. We got everything you need and some more. Reporting live with the sports. It's time for uproar, uproar, uproar.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is homecoming week. This is Uproar Radio Show going live from the 1912 studios here in lovely Nashville, Tennessee. And as always, I'm alongside my dog, Flem, Derek Flem, the man with the master plan. Like I said, we're gonna have a good show for y'all today. Real quick here, we're gonna get some reactions from Coach Reggie Barlow, his weekly OVC media call. We're gonna give some keys to the game from our perspective, and then again, as this being homecoming week, we're gonna really just tap into all things TSU homecoming, from our best memories as kids, as former players, to where potentially we think you should be going to enjoy the festivities this weekend here as TSU takes on Howard. So let's get into it, Flem. What's going on, man?
Man, get geek. It's homecoming week.
Yeah.
We don't go to class and we don't go to sleep. So we are excited about homecoming 2025. A lot of new things are being introduced in Nashville. The university is really changing the homecoming experience, and hopefully everyone will enjoy it. But more importantly, be patient as we try to transform homecoming into what it's supposed to be, which is a fundraising and profitable event for the university.
Definitely, man. It's big things coming this whole weekend, man. And I'll put this in as well too, because again, as a locally Middle Tennessee based show, and it's a heavy weekend for the city of Nashville. LSU comes into town to play Vanderbilt as well. Two top ranked teams in the country. So so if you chose
Vanderbilt's
Nashville, you realize
favorite.
what's going on. I feel for you. It's a lot.
Yeah. Vanderbilt is a favorite in that game. Who would ever think of that? Right now, Vanderbilt's a 2.5-point favorite. And, a lot of people believe that Vanderbilt has everything it needs to defeat LSU on Saturday. So, good job, Commodores.
Heck yeah, man. Let's get into it, man. So as we say, we want to, in this first block right here, we want to get into, the Coach Reggie Barlow's, his weekly media call with the OVC, man. So let's cut to that video from Coach Barlow's reactions in the media.
TSU head coach Reggie Barlow team fell short at SEMO last week on the road this week. They're back home. Howard will be coming to town after the team took a trip there last season. It's 3:30 Central Time, ESPN Plus. So, coaches, some thoughts about your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, last week, as you mentioned, we went to SEMO and had a chance to play against a well-prepared team. Actually, a really cool atmosphere, that stadium, how it's set up there at SEMO. But, we came up short. Enjoyed watching our guys compete. For us, it's about staying in the fight. It's about competing at a high level, great effort and energy. We control that. And our guys, we had our chances in that game. We were able to get 4 takeaways. And typically in those type situations, you come away with a victory. But unfortunately, that didn't happen for us. But proud of our guys, grateful that they were able to compete at the level they did. And, of course, this week, it is homecoming 2025 here at Tennessee State. A lot of alums and great people who, have built this place to what it is today. Will be back on campus. This will be our first homecoming here. Obviously homecoming is about alumni and that type of stuff. So excited about having a chance to be a part of this homecoming 2025 and looking to host Howard, who's a good team that's 3-3 right now. And, we got some really good playmakers. They play hard. They play to the echo of the whistle. So that's another huge challenge for us.
What does it mean, this rivalry? So now, I know you weren't here last year, but playing a fellow HBCU and getting them for homecoming too, which is good. But it seems like another HBCU you can have a series with and play some good games again.
Yeah, obviously, because of the tradition and history here, and our school playing against other HBCUs back in the day. Our fans like that. They like when we get a chance to play against other HBCUs. So last year, we went up there and had some success and won the game. I heard it was really nice atmosphere there. And then now they get a chance to come here in Nashville and be a part of our homecoming. So I think it's something that could really keep going. And, like I said, our fans are always excited when we get a chance to play against other HBCUs.
All righty, there we have it. Like I said, some of those comments right there from Coach Reggie Barlow. And as always, if you want to hear the full length of the conversation with Coach Barlow and all the questions he took for Media Day, just log on to the OVC, I believe it's OVCnetwork.com, OVCsports.com, I believe it is. But go out there and check out all of the comments he had right there. Now, with that being said, Flem, I'm going to take this to you on this first for your first reaction. He talked briefly more on a high level, obviously, about just the experiences, and he definitely did some reaction to some stuff with last week's game against SEMO. But from what you gather, what are your initial actions on just Coach Ball, and then just the team's focus towards just understanding the moment of still where we are, still fighting through this season to make improvements.
Oh yeah, so this is a very young team. So we knew that there was going to be some challenges of trying to gel and trying to get some kids some snaps and get them basically, ready, flying the plane while they were still building it. Mm-hmm. So, that's a tough task in itself. One thing you take from Coach Barlow's show each week, his tone is basically the same. So he's taking when he won a game, he was still, laser focused. And unfortunately, he's on a losing streak right now. But he's keeping the same tone. So you got to take the good with the bad. That being said, this opportunity this weekend is another opportunity for the Tigers to go 1-0. Yeah. And that's, as a coach, that's what I preach when I coach, regardless of what the schedule is. This is homecoming. Now Howard, we went up there and won last year. I've had a chance to take a look at Howard University's football team, and they're very solid. They're very solid, especially defensively. They play sound, fundamental football. So this is going to be a tough task. But so, you saw some positive things for the Tigers against SEMO. Did get the turnovers, but the offense is still trying to figure out its way to keep and sustain drives. And until they are able to do so, it's going to be tough. But you got a bunch of young guys, no returning starters from last year on that offensive side of the ball. And maybe, I don't even think you have one on the defensive side of the ball, do you? Mm-hmm. So, all 22 guys are brand new, to the field, and you're going to have this growing pain. But, I like the enthusiasm or the consistency of Coach Barlow and his message. We just got to go 1-0 this week.
Agreed, man. That was my sentiments as well. It is very hard to step into program that as storied as a Tennessee State is, and the expectations that we as former players and even fans put up on any coach that steps into that role. And as you said, I really believe that in the long run, having someone that's even killed no matter what, being that calming force is going to prove to be very successful for the Big Blue as things progress throughout the rest of the season and even into the coming seasons as well too. So we went up there. I had a chance to go up there to that homecoming at Howard, which was a great experience. I know growing up, we've always heard that both institutions really put on and kind of pretty much take over their own cities during that time frame, and we did a great job of taking over up there as well. And we took away with the win. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing us, as you said, just go 1-0. Going 1-0, we're going to do a good job of that. And I send this text to the guys that on the staff who are on the staff, right? I send it to them all the time, man. I say alignment, assignment, technique in that order. So that's always going to be the message to any one of the guys. Hey, what's your alignment before every play? what's my assignment that the coach gave me according to this quarter, this down and distance, whatever it is, and then do I remember the technique that I was taught? And if you can understand that before each play, that's how you move faster. Once that ball is ready to go, man. So that'll be that, man. So looking forward to it, man. Let's take a dip over here. Now we're going to transition into these keys to the game. And I've said this. My keys to the game still have not changed. They're going to remain that same because even though we've been on this losing streak, those are the things that we have to get corrected, right? So it's for me, it's going to always be zero turnovers. And then from there, defensively, when we get the turnover, defense needs to go ahead and score. Defense score one time. Just score one time, defense, and let's watch that momentum change for the offense as well, too, as we talked about there. And then ultimately just red zone efficiency. Let's get into that. Making sure that once we get into the red zone, we're putting up touchdowns and not coming away with nothing or just field goals, right? So finishing these drives, and I'll leave out one because I know that I left out one, but I left out one just for you on this film. But you take it there for us as well, too, for these keys to the game.
Yeah. So, you've talked about that. The thing is now, my key to the game is recognizing why you're playing. You know what I'm saying? What's on your helmet? Your mom and dad gonna be in the stands this weekend, okay? Your friends, your little girlfriend or whoever else, And sometimes in a point in time, when you're a player or even an adult, you just say, I'm not gonna allow this to happen today. Yeah. Okay. And so that's the will part of it. This team has been I'm not going to say very close because I'd be inaccurate, but they've had some opportunities to really flip momentum. Mm-hmm. And they had an opportunity in the second half last week where the defense came out pretty stout and enthusiastic and had some opportunities to really change that game around. Mm-hmm. And so they just haven't been able to capitalize. So, you're going to have to look to your left shoulder and to your right shoulder, and that brother to your right, that brother to your left, and y'all going to have to play for each other this weekend because you can get this W this week. Then you can start some momentum. You can start some momentum. You can get off the shot. You can get off the losing streak. You can feel good about yourself and start to build, what you need to finish the season strong. So, my key is going to be you're playing for your brothers this weekend, man. Yeah. You got a will. Things ain't going your way. It's a little tough, folks. Looking at you funny, folks. Got all kind of comments, whether they're good or bad. But you can shut everybody up this weekend if you go 1-0.
Yeah, you definitely can, man. It is the and I thought about it, it's the last thing that is penalties. The ones that we know that we as a team can control, zero on that box, man. Zero on that box. Work your technique, whatever you got to do. No costly penalties. We can't be in, as we've seen ourselves, get drives going and then, it's a legal procedure. It's a holding. It's stuff like that, right? And I get sometimes that it gets to be where some degree there's some judgment in there. So with that being said, work that technique, man, and continue just to play, full speed on this stuff, man. Like don't play too timid or worried about the penalty, but still go get it. But eliminate those things as best as you can, man. No penalties, because again, I think that alludes to what you talked about. Not that we've had plenty of opportunities to win games. It's just that we've been in situation in these losses to where, that penalty killed the momentum. And then, you spend another quarter trying to gain it back, right? And we got to some degree towards the end of that SEMO game, we started to get something going a little bit there, right? And then boom, we just couldn't, get it over. But so I'm hopeful that was a sign of, we get towards it. Because for me, it's like, I'm gonna keep saying this. I just want to see, give me just that one good quarter, And I love to see us kick off this game in the first quarter 100%, meaning, 3 and out, first drive, scoring on a touchdown. Like, I would love to see that, man. So that's where we're going to go with that. Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, we're going to keep
on
this.
that.
Go ahead.
So on that, just I know I knew you wanted me to say something about penalties, right? But hey, man, I was so frustrated in the first 20 minutes of the game last week. I mean, we had 7 penalties in a quarter and a third. That's 20 minutes. It was like, oh my God, come on, And then what comes with that, you can't play complementary football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the defense goes 3, has a good stance, and then the offense will go do something, or the special teams won't go catch the punt, let the ball bounce all over the place. So it's like complementary football needs to be played, and that is part of eliminating the penalties.
Yeah, it is, man. Well, look here, like I said, as we said, it's homecoming week, man. We getting geek with this thing here, man. So we're gonna have a little fun as we, round up the show here, man. We're gonna talk about some of these best homecoming memories, man. And obviously, it's me and you being Nashvillians, right? There's some homecoming memories that, so I want to go towards you. Give me your homecoming memory that comes to mind from a kid standpoint. If it's the first homecoming you remember, or just a particular homecoming when you were, before you came to Tennessee State, what is that something that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I remember as a young kid, probably around 5 or 6, 7 years old. Our family was living in Jackson, Mississippi, and we traveled up to Nashville for homecoming, and we were playing Grambling at Vanderbilt, and it was a sold out situation where some kind of way we only had 2 tickets, but it was 3 of us. Right. It was my dad, my mom, and me. And I don't know if my dad was trying to finagle something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or maybe he thought I was not old enough for a ticket. Yeah. Nevertheless, he told me and my mom to go in, and he said he'll see us in the game, And you didn't have no phones back then, and you didn't have really no ways of communication. And I looked up towards the middle of the first quarter, and here comes Glenn coming up the steps. And I was like, there he is, So, those type of things there, man, and spending time coming up here and being so excited about homecoming and parade, and just, it was just a packed house always. And so as a kid, that was probably one of my best memories.
Yeah. For me, what comes to mind is, especially for those folks who again, I'm a little younger than Flem here. Just recently young. I just joined the 40 Club, man. So shout out to
man.
Club, man.
Happy birthday, Reno. You ain't tell nobody either. You just looked up, man. It was my birthday.
Just let it float on by, man. I enjoy each day, each year. That's what I do.
Yeah. All right.
But I remember I was 6. I feel like I was like 5 or 6 myself. And for the folks who remember, I've said this. My dad played football at Tennessee State, played quarterback. He's part of that many of guys who came out of Mississippi when Coach Merritt, he was coming out of Jackson State. But anyways, we were walking from the north end zone, which is like coming right outside the locker room in the hole, and we were walking on the track, and we ran it past Coach Gillum, and that was the first time I met Coach Gillum, Coach Joe Gillum Sr. Man, it's the first time I had met him, and it was homecoming week. It was on like a Wednesday. That was the first thing I remember. And then I don't remember who he played that day, because again, that was 1990, 91, I believe, around that time frame. And so I just remember they used to give, I don't know if they gave them away, but remember those big long blue horns, the real skinny ones.
Oh yeah.
They used to have those long blue horns. So you walk in, you get your horn. And we, as kids, you sit up inside the section. We used to sit in section U, which is on the home side, but closer to King Jim side of the stadium, right? So we had the long blue horns. And then I remember midway through the game, stopped watching the game, and then there's a full-on youth kids pickup football game going on the short field just outside the north field zone. So we playing over there. the whole time having our whole game, man. So that's for me, that's like the first kid memory that I have right there, just going to the hole, paying attention to the game just a little bit, and then I see the football game going over there. I'm like, Mom, Dad, let me go over there and play this. Like, all right, going over there. So that's what we did, man. So that's
those kid moments are amazing. But I'm always say my best homecoming memories when I was an adult. It was actually in 2012, the Centennial year. I mean, we really had a good time, and my family was all together. You know, we tailgated. You know, that my dad was still alive in 2012. That was actually his last homecoming. You know, he actually passed that Christmas Eve. Wow. But that experience was one of the better homecomings because we played UA Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they brought a decent crowd, and it was in Nissan, and so it was really probably one of the last homecomings that had, 15, 18, 20,000 in Nissan Stadium for a game. So that in the 2012 was the one that, not knowing what was around the corner, you know what I'm saying? We just had a real good flow. Dr. Portia Shields was the president at the time, and she was cracking whips. So everything, everything was on point. Nothing missed on that day. I mean, it was pretty amazing. That season was amazing, actually.
Agreed. I agree. That was mine as an adult. That was mine as well, too, because I'll tell people this. When you're playing at Tennessee State, you do not enjoy homecoming at all. You get, if you may do like one of the college parties that's on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night, but it's like, why? Because it's like, for us, I was in that group that had the early morning wake up call for weightlifting and stuff like that. So it's like, you didn't want to be out all night and then have to go, lift weights. So, as a player, you really don't get to enjoy it. You get that Friday of pep rally where you hang out real quick at the pep rally. You got like that hour and a half to yourself. And then before you know it, you got team meetings and position meetings that start at like 2:30. And folks are pulling in by 11:30, noon. So it's like you get a short window. Once you get to those meetings, then it's like you're off campus, headed to the team hotel away from it all. So as a player, it's like you really don't get a chance to enjoy everything outside of it. But I agree with you on the 2012, the Centennial Homecoming. Man, that was one of them ones right there, man. It was that one right there. I hate for the fact that the people who did not get a chance to experience that, man, that were alums, man. I hate the fact you can get a chance to experience that. It was just, it was too good. I think it rained that Friday, and we was all inside Gentry, and it didn't matter. The AOB alumni band was on one side of Gentry. The regular current AOB was on the other side, just rocking it out. So it was good, man. It was good.
Yeah. So you talked about how you didn't have fun as a player. You speak for yourself. I think we messed it up for y'all because 95, 95, we were still staying on campus. Yeah, so we stayed on campus in 95.
Hold on. You mean tell we ain't had no money to slide off to no team hotels in 95?
No, we didn't have. We didn't do it. The next year when LC heard about how we behaved.
Yeah.
Before games, and and that's when we went to the cabins in 96. He started that cabin stuff, and then we went from being at the dorm to freezing in the middle of nowhere. With no HVAC and a little heat and a bunch of blankets. So so we messed it up, man. We messed it up for all the classes behind us because so we had a good time at homecoming. I don't know what you talking
about. You didn't get a chance to do nothing until Saturday after the game, and that was when we was playing 7:00 kickoffs. So you're just like, man, by the time you get back to campus, fight through all of that stuff, get showered up, it's 12:30 after midnight trying to get somewhere, man. So yeah, man, it's gonna be good, man. So with that being said, tell me where are you, what spots you thinking about heading to? Because as people know, at Tennessee State homecoming, technically for us alumni, it starts tonight. So whether you going to I think it's like 3 big events that are being pushed tonight, from the Blackout to the Alphas, the BO. I think it's BO. I don't know if it's BO or it's just Alphas, the alumni chapter of the BO that are doing some stuff or whatever, man. So, but yeah, man. So where you think about head to? It's gonna be at home.
Yeah, we don't know nothing about no alpha stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you're asking the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Them non-grader boys, what they call you, something like that.
Yes, sir. No, but much love to the alphas, man. They've always done an amazing job during homecoming. Actually, homecoming started for the Flem family last night. You know, my aunt always hosts the kickoff, family dinner. I had to do the ribs and the chicken, so we've already got it started. But tonight, it's just a float thing for me, man. I'm just gonna try to move around, go to the host hotel. Got some friends is up, some alumni friends that I went to school with here. Got some family members coming up, and of course, everything is going to be about, I ain't gonna say everything, but tomorrow's going to be epic. The opportunity there. So, with the late announcement of Jeezy, one of my favorite artists, going to be on the yard and performing. That's going to be amazing. And of course, I got to always give you shout out, Mr. President, of what you put together with the football mixer, and where we get a chance to eat and have a few libations on the yard, in the hole. So, we're going to have a good time with that. So, we're just going to try to navigate, as I was telling, D Love Sports will be here this evening.
Yeah.
And so the defenders, the DC Tigers are what we're calling them. A lot of the DC Defender fans are touching down this evening, so we'll try to get them accommodated as well. So, man, it's just, the pressure is already here when it comes to traffic and logistics in Nashville. Thank God the kids are on spring break. That has released and relieved some of the pressure of travel in Nashville. But with LSU being in town, NBA young boys in town tonight. Oh my God! I'm just
they said those tickets going for Beyonce numbers right now.
Man, he is really, really, putting on the crazy numbers with his concert. He's selling out everywhere he goes. So, the NBA young boy faction will be downtown as well. So it's just going to be a booming city, and the weather's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Going to be in the mid to lower 80s tomorrow. And we're just excited about it, man. More importantly, we want to make sure our student athletes feel the support this weekend. So we got to make sure we come out understanding that we couldn't have all these events if we didn't have them here participating at our university. So let's keep them high on the list, and whatever you can donate and whatever you can give to the university, to the athletic department, please do so. You know what I'm saying? We're on the recovery back. And so, the work that Reno does for the Tiger Den and all of us in Tiger Den Group is always focused on trying to support our student and student athletes.
That is a word right there, man. I'll say for me, it is, I'm not going to get into the big stuff tonight. Few of the boys with, I kid you not, we got some of them old sophisticated ladies from and I say old very respectfully. All right, so let me get that correct. I love my sophisticated ladies, and y'all always gonna be sophisticated. So let me correct that. We got some sophisticated ladies. I'm gonna say like that from like the 88 to like the 93 space. They gonna come hang out with some of the boys. Even got a few T-Bells that's gonna come through, man. So a few of us got a small little group. We probably gonna hit up one of these rooftops, maybe Harriet's, maybe the Virgin. Shout out to those two places right there. Lovely rooftops, great views of downtown Nashville all around. Enjoy that, and then come Friday morning. It's on and popping with this pop out hosted by XM Radio and Pandora. As Flem just said, we got Jeezy coming in. I feel like I want to repeat the line from Jank Promoters. Let them know who brought Jeezy to my death stove, man.
Right, absolutely, man. That really sparked the homecoming. I think that when that news got out, people were still on the fence a little bit because of all the confusion, and there's a lot of different tickets. There's a lot of different RSVP, and it's all new. And you got to pay for parking. It's all new. And you can start feeling that people were kind of feeling fatigued. But when Jeezy was announced, everybody was like, okay, everybody started trying to get their stuff together. So, good job by the university of bringing an act that can really, energize all different types of decades, from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, the 20s. Jeezy is highly respected and highly successful. So that really put a spark into the weekend.
Definitely did. Well, look here, man. Without being said, like I said, this is, Uproar Radio, man, going live from Instagram today, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. As always, see us tomorrow.
Hold on. Reno, you trying to run. We need predictions. We need predictions.
Okay. Prediction, man. Big Blue gonna get this win.
Okay. All right.
Big Blue gonna get this win. All right.
What's the score?
All right.
Give me a score.
I don't know. Win.
Right. We don't care.
I think for me it's just there's a level of enough pissed off for greatness right now and wanting to get it right by the staff, by the players that we gonna find a way to win this game. I don't care. I don't subscribe to ugly wins and beautiful wins. I just subscribe to wins. So dang it, just win. That's it. And I'm believing that we gonna get that W on Saturday, as you see on the ticker right there. Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Nissan Stadium, or if you can't make it to Nashville, ESPN Plus. What you got, Flem?
Yeah, I feel the same, man. I just want a W. I don't care if it's 3-2. A field goal and a safety, because Howard has a tough defense, and hopefully our defense can keep the momentum from second half and be pretty tough this weekend. Yeah, we just take a W.
I'll add a little more to it. I believe that we're starting to get some rhythm from Zach Simmons-Brown and Kendrick Grimes in the running game. If Coach Harris and the staff can continually to evolve that, keep that stuff going, and then from our quarterback play, figuring out just the right times to take them shots, and then ultimately hitting those shots, man, we're going to find a way, because defense for the most part does what they need to do for the most part, but it's just, as we talk about those keys, it's what it is. So that's why I'm like, we're going to find a way to get this win in, man, and let's get 1-0. Let's get the 1-0. So that's it, man. This is Uproar Radio. We'll catch y'all this Saturday, some of y'all Friday, tomorrow inside the hole, or either Saturday. Like I said, if you see us, say what's up. Tap into us. We might just up and decide to go live right before game. We don't know yet. We'll see. But like I said, this is Uproar Radio Show.